it now gives me very great pleasure indeed to call to the stage the Deputy Prime Minister of Somalia. Thank you very much.
Minister Mitchell, other ministers, head of delegates, leaders of global institutions that on everyday basis work on one of the most noble actions on regular basis, I bring to you greetings and good hope from Somalia. And to begin with, I would like to thank the government of Britain, the Prime Minister and Minister Andrew for championing perhaps the most noble goal among the Sustainable Development Goals, that of eradicating hunger and that of saving the lives of children, preventing them from stunting, wasting, and eventual death. There is none more profound objective to pursue than this one. I speak on behalf of the vulnerable Somali communities that within the last year only have faced circumstances beyond their control, either in the form of famine or in the form of floods. I would leave the statistical, the empirical evidence, the scientific findings to the practitioners here. But let me give you some anecdotal evidence of what's happening on the ground in places like Somalia. 5 days ago, I visited a city called Baydhabo, southern Somalia, a city that has inhabitants of about 500,000 people. But an additional 700,000 people live on the outskirts of their city. These are people, vulnerable women, children, and youth who have been displaced from an extremely productive sectors of our nation, either by conflict, famine, drought, or war and conflict. So I would like to highlight and take a more systemic approach to the prevention of death and dealing with hunger when it comes to children. Let's address the statistics. Globally, we know over 1 billion children are subject to food malnutrition, 45 million are close to stunting and wasting. But in Somalia, 1.8 million under the age of 5 are suffering from severe form of malnutrition. 28% of children under the age of 5 are stunted. And echoing the good hope that Omar and others have highlighted, this is a massive improvement from 42% in the year 2006. It's an indication of the improvements in the emerging Somali government institutions and the tremendous effort from the donors, spearheaded by the UK and others, who on a regular basis intervene in these vital areas. But the message I would like to bring from the Horn of Africa, we have similar situations and the larger African continent, to this global forum, and hopefully we will take our findings to the next scope in terms of coming with a much more concerted and collective effort globally and a more systemic approach at the national level in terms of combating child hunger. I would like to highlight that the symptoms you see in a child that is malnutrition, either the failure of bodily functions, anatomical or psychological, are only an indicator of the health systems of that nation, or maybe the gaps in the global instruments and approaches. So if we fix the limitations in the health systems and the health sector, water and sanitation, social protection systems, financing of these important vital programs, perhaps we can find permanent and lasting solutions. As I have highlighted, these children that you will find in IDP camps were at one point living in the countryside with a lot of cattle, camel, and goats at their disposal, with very fertile farming lands. But because of conflict, climate change, and other natural and man-made disasters, their lives have been disturbed, their livelihoods have been disturbed. What are we doing as a government to address this issue? I think to echo yet again the positive hope. One of the missing elements in the effort to both treat and prevent child malnutrition was the absence of a viable state institutions in Somalia. And I think I can say with certainty that for the first time we have more than 10 Somali ministerial institutions, ministries, working on different aspects contributing to the prevention of hunger. I would like to highlight that for the first time we have a national social protection policy and safety net, something that was in the past purely a prerogative of international NGOs or local NGOs. We're trying to develop a single social registry so that because in terms of preparedness and prevention, having the right data and information is of significant importance. So it's a total government approach that we're working on, and we are very glad that we're here to pick on the insights, the comparative analysis, the perspectives that others are getting from different places, and I think collectively working together, we can bring about a transformational change and a more sustainable approach to this agenda. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
bishaaro 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 shirkadda isgaarsiinta Somtel oo soo kordhisay adeega kaafiya plus kaasoo aad ka heli kartid $0.5 ilaa iyo $50. haddaba macaamiil ku shuba $0.5 oo hel 1.5 GB oo ay la socoto 70 daqiiqo iyo 50 fariin qoraaleed. ku shuba $1 oo hel 3 GB oo ay la socoto 140 daqiiqo iyo 50 fariin qoraaleed. sidoo kale macaamiil ku shuba $2 oo hel 6 GB oo ay la socoto 280 daqiiqo iyo 100 fariin qoraaleed. ku shuba $5 oo hel 13 GB iyo bar oo ay la socoto 600 daqiiqo iyo 200 fariin qoraaleed. sidoo kale macaamiil ku shubo $10 oo hel 30 GB oo ay la socoto 1200 daqiiqo iyo 300 fariin qoraaleed. ku shubo $20 oo hel 70 GB oo ay la socoto 2400 oo daqiiqo iyo 300 SMS. sidoo kale macaamiil ku shubo $50 oo hel 150 GB oo ay la socoto 6000 oo daqiiqo iyo 300 SMS. adeega kaafiye plus waxaad ugu shuban kartaa idahab xidig 1 4 gees, airtime xidig 200 4 gees, reseller xidig 300 4 gees. shirkadda isgaarsiinta Somtel oo aad ka heli karto internet qiimo jaban, tayo sare leh, misna la isku haleyn karo.